Communications Channel.
1st and 10 Niceville with the ball on the 47. Little cross back to number 23, Alex Godfrey. He gets outside. He's stopped by number 4, Thaddeus Rose, and another first down for Niceville. Boy, they have so many weapons, and they look so quick.
There you're looking at Godfrey. That kid rushed for 1,000 more yards last year than he has this year, simply because he hadn't been 100% all year long. But the good news is you've got a guy like Freddie Wilbon that can turn around and pick up the slack.
Well, he's been carrying the load until Alex gets well.
Now, Alex still has 500 yards rushing this year, which is a bad stat, you know. And
I'd love it.
But he had 1,500 yards last year.
Calakini, first pass tonight, complete to Wilbon. Tackle by John Townsend. Great throw by Calakini.
And that was a good play by Townsend to tackle Freddie Wilbon in the open field. Townsend's sole responsibility was the run out by the fullback, and if he don't get him wrapped up, well, I think we know what could have happened.
I know what could have happened. But coverage, Wilbon just ran away from him. I think John was there, but he's got the old waggle pass, as they say. It's a play-action pass, and they run the fullback out in the flats. Slot this way is Jackson, and in the slot is number 23, Alex Godfrey. Give us to Chris Johnson. And Chris breaks it upfield. Stop made by Fabian Porter and number 7, Javaris Walker. David?
Something interesting happened on the play before. I saw Matt Walker, the backup quarterback, coming off the field. And he must have been in at a wide receiver.
Maybe he was at quarterback and we missed it. We're sorry, Mr. Walker. I know it was Calakini that threw the pass, though. And Calakini's back in there.
I wouldn't.
You're going to have...
Not 100%.
If we miss anything like that tonight, it's David Garner's fault. He's been here too long. Alex Godfrey in the slot. Give us to the inside. And boy, somebody had lowered the boom on him. Number 61, Joe Donatelli. Joe Donatelli, 6'2", 250.
82 was on the play as well. That was Joseph Ferrera.
Yeah. Right there.
Donatelli with a good play on the inside. We used to call that the old suck. Take the tall sweep and try to suck that fullback right back underneath, but Donatelli was not suckered.
Well, Donatelli's job is that counter. They give us to Wilbon. And Wilbon will get short yardage. Tackled there by number 84, Waylon Cotton. Donatelli's there again. 2 plays in a row, they don't have a first down. We may have a story here. 6:14 to go in the first quarter. Well, of course, we said, and that was a curious conservative call, but you're giving the ball to Wilbon, they're not conservative at all. 3rd and about 8. And another mistake by the Vikings.
Boy, they did not need that. For the first time this evening, Niceville was in a 3rd and at least medium.
Well,
at 3rd and about 7, so that'll tighten it up. That's a big mistake, because I was about to say this is a big play for Fort Walton. If they hold them here.
You can't play championship football. You know, you can understand that sometime early in the year, but the last game of the season, you cannot make that kind of mistake, especially against a team like Niceville. So that'll be 3rd and 1. To give this to Godfrey, and he's going to score. He's going to be dragged down there by number 3, Fabian Porter, but number 81, Brandon Robinson, was blocking Fabian Porter and had a good block on him. And Alex will get another first down, be first and goal on the 4-yard line. You know, I'm impressed with Brandon. Both Brandon and Jeremy have blocked real well on the corners so far tonight.
Absolutely. Mike Brake does a good job as well from his wide receiver. Now they get into power to heavy set.
Freddie Wilbon. Touchdown, Niceville. That was easy.
block down and kick out. They go right off the right tackle, go with 2 tights and a wing, get in the eye backfield, and run the veer.
And I guess on that heavy, that's Watson and Bankston. Is that Watson, Bankston, and Robinson on the heavy?
That's 2/3 of it, yeah.
Good blocking up front by Niceville. The kick by McKinney is good. 5:18 at 14-7. Now, David, tell me, have they looked better?
Oh.
Has Niceville looked better? I'm curious.
I believe they done just as well at other times during the season, but they are playing with a tremendous amount of intensity tonight. They are very, very sharp. You can't hardly get any better.
I don't know what you can do. They
had 3rd and 7.
Of course, they drew Fort Walton offside. Calakini's snap count's what did it. So they do that. But, you know, if they're any better than this, wow. And what I'm impressed with tonight, David, is really that line. When I saw them play against Choctaw, I said there was a vulnerability of Niceville in their offensive line, but tonight they have done a real good job. I wonder if McKinney will kick it back to Fabian.
He'll try to probably pop it up in the air. Oh, he hit it on the ground. That was my predictions.
They better pick that up. Up, he had his knee down. Picked up by number 5, Anthony McKinney, but the ball will be down right there where his knee touched. Well, I guess that's an effective kick.
Pop it up in the air, ground skinner, either one. They're not going to kick it deep. They've seen enough of Fabian.
Well, you know, last week against Mosley, Fabian and I think it was Anthony McKinney, or it might have been T. Rose. No, Thaddeus Rose almost broke 2 against Mosley. One of them led to a touchdown later on. Fort Walton scored. The defense for Niceville, Tiza and Ulrich at linebackers. Give us the foul up the middle. And boy, he'll be very close to the first down. Tackle made there by number 32, Phil Tiza.
Tiza, the leading tackler for Niceville. He's got 76 total, 45 tackles, 31 assists. Followed by Kyle Keithley, Greg Ritchie, Kenny Escovars, 38, David Gibson, 33, and Ulrich, 33.
Second and a foot. Give to Fallon once again, and he'll get 3 good yards there. Tackled by number 51.
Cody Martin.
Cody Martin. That's not the lineup they gave me.
Well, they're working people in and out. He's actually in the game now for Ulrich. Cody started last week.
Cody Martin.
Linebacker.
First and 10 for Walton. The ball on about the 37. Drew will get outside. Tough running. He'll get about a 5. Tackle looks like by Kenny Escobar. You know, if there's one thing also that's been, I guess, Niceville has given up a lot of points this year, more than they normally do. And normally the defense for Niceville is about as good as the offense. 2nd and 6. Intended for Ryan Thompson. Broken up by number 6, Greg Rickey.
That was a good play by Ritchie. He read the slant. He was up underneath that thing and batted it up and almost tipped it to the corner. Roberts showed good arm strength on that throw.
He's got a good arm. He's got a good arm. He's only 38%, but Fort Walton does not have the real speed burner wideouts. They're good kids. They catch the ball pretty well, but they're not going to challenge you with their speed. 3rd down. Intended for Ryan Thompson, but in and out of the hands, and number 20, David Gibson on the coverage.
Good play by David. He broke on the ball, and that was actually a completed ball for a second. Well, not a second, or it would have been a fumble, but David timed it just right and hit him right on contact, and he was able to knock it loose.
Number 21, Chris Johnson, drops back for Niceville. Bobby Robinson, the punter for Fort Walton.
Now you see Niceville's punt team on the punt coverage team on the field. They play a little soft. They're expecting some fakes as well.
Fair catch by Chris Johnson, number 20. A tremendous punt by Robinson. And now, you know, David, why I like to come here, the Niceville fans are the best in the county.
They're into it, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're the best in the county. Now, their defense did a good job, and they all stood up and gave them a hand. Isn't that great?
Yep.
I've been talking about fan etiquette all year. When your team does a good job, stand up and cheer.
Absolutely. And I've been down there on that boundary before, and it means a lot.
You betcha. 1st and 10, Niceville. Kalakini in the ball. The ball is given to Godfrey. Godfrey will be pulled down by John Townsend. Landed rather awkwardly. No, that's not. That's number 22.
That's Donahue.
Donahue. I know, we look at the numbers here. I look like 23 to me.
Me and Mr. Morgan were talking about last week as well. We were talking about the skill people as we about beat that one to death, you know. But here's a kid like Dante Donahue. He can't get on the football field.
Well, there might be an opening next year, and he's a junior. Because Freddie's a senior. I think Godfrey's a junior, right?
Uh-huh.
Give this to Godfrey. He gets outside the tackle, runs over his own blocker. Tackled there once again by John Townsend, but I think the blocker in front of him, who was that? Had as much to do with him coming down.
Dante was in front of Alex. Alex had a good seam there. They had a little crease over there around the perimeter.
Good blocking at the point of attack. Another first down for Niceville.
Mike Brake comes off.
Wide out to the right here is Jeremy Jackson. He's going to call timeout. Well, you might as well get it right. 2:37 to go in the first quarter. Niceville 14, Fort Walton 7. And it's almost been like taking your breath away so far. You know, going into this game, Fort Walton knew they had to do several things to win. One thing they had to do, of course, was to avoid the big play. In other words, they had to tackle all the Niceville backs the first time they get a shot at them. They can't just miss the first tackle, because you miss the first tackle against Niceville's running backs. It's, you know, you're going to pay for it. You pay for it. The second thing they wanted to do was control the ball. You know, drive it down the field, keep it out of the hands of the offense. And of course, the third thing they want to do is be able to throw in order to get Drew Roberts loose on the corners to run the option. And remains to be seen whether they do it. On the other hand, Niceville, of course, don't have to do anything. They have to do what they always do: score a lot of points.
Well, there's a big concern in the Niceville camp this week. They're going to have to stop the veer. That's one thing that I think if they would, talking to the defensive people, if you said, what do you hope you do better tonight? Play the veer.
Kalakini. Crossing pattern to Alex Godfrey. And he'd be driven out of bounds by number 4, T. Rose. Just a great call there by the offensive coordinator. Who's the offensive coordinator this year?
Ron Mayer.
Ron Mayer. What a great call.
I'm going to tell you what, I thought Alex had a shot to go, and he would have cut that thing back had it not been for McLean. He showed some good speed for a big old boy. That young'un can run.
McLean's a good runner, but no. First, the good news, he can run. Now the bad news is 20 yards downfield. 1st and 10 for Niceville. Give this to Johnson. Johnson will get about 5. Tackle made by number 5, Anthony McKinney. You know, Johnson going to be feeling left out tonight.
It's all
Godfrey gets about 20, Wilburn gets about 20, and he gets about 6.
Kind of like that pitcher. Every time I pitch, I'll get 2 runs.
Right.
Y'all block when I run.
Well, to make it 3 yards, not 5. 2nd and 7 for Niceville. Give us the Wilbon. He bounces to the outside. Pulled down there by Anthony McKinney. Now, I have not seen Wilbon dragged down like that, even on film or the games I've watched him tonight.
Well, that's what you got to do. McKinney had him a double handful of cloth. You got to grab cloth when you tackle. A lot of kids today, they don't grab any cloth. They just want to go in and run into people and try and blow them up, as we used to call it. You got to grab cloth.
Grab them and holler for help. 3rd and 2. A little crossbuck here to Wilbon. No, that'll be Godfrey, and he will score. And it's going to be a penalty. And I think it's coming back, David. I'm not sure. It was thrown by the back judge there, but I think this one's against Niceville.
Holding.
Well, Alex Godfrey walks into the end zone with 1:09 to go, but they're going to bring this one back. And right now, I know Frank's going to say, now, who did that? I mean, when you're a coach, you always want the number.
So they're going to bring it back. Do it again. The band can don't have to put that touchdown song on hold.
I didn't get as excited on that score because I saw the referee throw the flag. I knew it was coming back. And I saw him pointing to one of the linemen. I'm not going to mention who he was pointing at, but because we don't want, you know.
Well, the official just walked over to Ron Mayer and did the old wraparound technique, as if to say, Coach, he had his hands all around his head.
Tackled it. So, 3rd and goal, the ball on the 18th. 3rd and 18 for Niceville. And Kalakini almost scored. He's run out of bounds by number 3, Fabian Porter. What a tremendous fake by Kalakini.
He does a good job. He handles the football. He takes care of the football, I should say. He does everything you ask him to do. He carries out his fakes. He does a good job of reading. And he throws that football only where Niceville can catch it. And or at least that's what he's done up to now. I don't want to jinx it, boy.
Boy, if I mix up. It's 1st and goal now. I could not see the sign marker there. So it's 1st and goal for Niceville on the 4-yard line. To give this to Wilbon, the ball's on the ground.
I think he got it back.
No, Fort Walton got it. And I don't know who recovered it. But Freddie coughs up the football. And what a strange turn of events. I think maybe number 6 for Fort Walton. Well, I don't know who got it. You know, you got to hand it to these kids. They don't jump up and down like they really did something.
Well, this is going to be huge for Fort Walton Beach. They're going to have to come off that goal, and that football is resting right on it, man. I mean, it's just inside. It would have been better for Fort Walton to have recovered it in the fumble, but beggars can't be choosy down here.
Give us the Fallon up the middle. He'll get about 2. You know what you always like to do down here, but nobody will do it. Play action, pass. You know, when you're
Joey's got nothing to lose.
You know, there ain't no tomorrow, as they say. There's no use keeping your pitchers in the bullpen when there's no tomorrow.
This should be the last play.
Clock moving up on 24 seconds to go in the 1st quarter.
I bet they throw it.
Drew Roberts will get forward for another 2 yards. And that will end the quarter with the score, the Eagles 14, the Vikings 7. And we'll be right back at this exciting football game right after this message.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears and Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
They're going to try to do that. We're back. David, what a tremendous football game here in Okaloosa County between these two great high schools.
It's a great setting, a fantastic setting. Big crowd, and everybody in the county's here, I believe.
Big third down for Fort Walton. Drew will keep it, will struggle forward to get about 2. And that'll give them enough room for Bobby Robinson to punt the football. You need about 15 yards. But Niceville defense did a great job of holding the Fort Walton inside their 10-yard line.
Niceville again, not taking anything for granted.
Well, they blocked the punt.
6 man up front.
They blocked the punt against Mosley to turn that football game around, so
Right.
they will come after you. Bobby Robinson deep in his end zone.
But this has been a real weapon of Niceville's right here is that young man.
Chris Johnson, number 21, feels it. And he will run up the field and about a 10-yard, number 32 for Niceville. That'll be a field teaser. He just unloaded on Thaddeus Rose.
Boy, and old David Gibson had the pleasure of the peel back block.
Was that him? I thought that was Tiza.
No, that's David Gibson. Phil can't get down the field that quick.
Whoever did it, okay. Whoever did it did a good job. The pitch back to Wilburn. Strung out there by number 4, Thaddeus Rose, but Wilburn still gets about 7 yards. And you know, this is another thing. This is a change of pace. You know, they've been doing the cross buck. Now they're a little pitch sweep. What is Freddie's time in the 40?
I don't know exactly. I'd be afraid to guess too. I know he can. I'd hate to say 4.2. Coach, why are you dogging me? You know I run. A 4.4 is I run a 4.2, man. So I'm not gonna guess.
And speaking of Freddie, he comes out holding his left wrist. And in comes number 30 for Niceville. That'll be Richard Brinson.
Freddie's hurting a little bit. He's doubled up down there.
He'll be all right. That's what the coach is saying right now. What's wrong? You'll be all right. Calakini, now Brinson's in the backfield. Little crossbutt to Alice Godfrey. Boy, Troy McLean. Boy, he came hard on the outside, and boy, he really leveled the Alex.
Woo. Now that time Fort Walton Beach got off the line of scrimmage. They got off the football a little bit. We used to say, or I used to say in defense, when you're playing the defense in the defensive line, you got to read, but at the same time, you got to make the second move first. And I know that almost sounds impossible or crazy to do or whatnot, but that's, in reality, that's what you got to do. You got to make the second move. They're going to make the first move. They know the snap count. Now you got to beat them to the punch.
You can't play catch back there all night on defense. Third, and this is and 7 for Niceville. Boy, he had number 82, Jeremy Jackson, wide open. But the third thing that can happen bad, or is that the second thing that can happen bad in a pass? You can incomplete it.
I think poor old Jeremy is just so wide open.
Jeremy, the ball was slightly behind you now.
Yeah, it was.
So I guess you'll have to share responsibility, 50-50 with Joey Calakini.
Well, Niceville's 4th down, and they appear to be going for this first down.
I think this is a good call, you know. I mean, they got the tools to do it. Godfrey in motion.
Tried to draw him offside.
They tried to draw him offside. That time, Fort Walton was disciplined. They're still administering the Freddie Wilburn down here on the bench, David, and you know, you're thinking about tonight's game, but you're also thinking about next week. I mean, you don't take 1,000 yards of offense out of your football team and be as good as next week as you are this week.
Yeah. Oh, he's hurting to some extent. There's no doubt about that, because Freddie's a tough character. He'd be right back out there. He would at least be out there on this 4th down play if indeed Niceville does choose to go for it.
Well, you know what, this is a position here that the ball's on the 37. This is fake punt time. This is right where you fake punt, or they may run an offensive play. Who does their kicking? Kalakini does their kicking,
Kalakini does the kicking. Wilbon's back up.
I know everybody in the stands here is watching everybody. They're watching Wilbon. They're going to go.
We got 4th down going on out here, and all eyes is on the kid on the bench.
4th down, big play of the game right here. Kalakini drops back. He has Godfrey wide open, and he will score. Touchdown, Niceville. What a call.
Here we got a flag.
We got another flag. Is this coming back? Just a great play, though.
Unsportsmanlike. I knew it was bound to happen.
Unfortunately, the touchdown will stand. They will penalize them on the ensuing kickoff. Why did you say that would happen? Did you see something?
I saw a little activity earlier, and I seen an official go over to one of the Niceville players and actually grab him by the shirt, and as if to say, "You need to calm down, young'un. You know, you're flirting with it. This is borderline. You know, I could call it, but I'm going to warn you first."
Well, that would be the second 15-yard. Of course, this one doesn't hurt, but Niceville, just like that, 4th and 7. Why punt? McKinney will attempt the extra point.
Boy, Kalakini was smooth and cool on that one, wasn't he?
It was right into Alex Godfrey. You know, it's looked like you do it in practice. You know, it always works that way in practice. And it looked like he was just practice playing, throwing,
that
catching.
That looked like something you see on Saturday.
Right.
Looking off the receiver and pumping one way and then peeling right back. He made him. If I find out next week that was his number 2 receiver, I'm really going to be impressed.
Well, they're going to penalize them on the extra point, so this will be like a field goal. But, you know, they might as well throw it. They were about the same position when they scored. But McKinney needs to practice, I assume.
This will be a 35-yard extra point here.
Joey Kalakini will hold the football for Joe McKinney's attempt. And, of course, this will be about a 37-yarder extra point. And that's plenty of leg. Oh, it was wide. Boy, it sure looked good from here.
Woo! He got a good foot on it. He really drove it off that tee well. Got it up quick. Had plenty of distance. Just pulled it a little bit.
And once again, as you can hear on your TV, the Niceville fans up on their feet giving the offense a big hand.
Well, with 9.5 minutes approximately remaining in the first half, Fort Walton Beach would really prefer going in only one score behind or maybe even tied. You know, they've got to respond to this early surge
right
by
now.
Niceville. Quickly.
They have got to score here, or the second half will be a long second half for Fort Walton. They got it. The extra point is, you know, could be big later on, but if Fort Walton doesn't score in this next possession, you're right, Dave. Of course, you always want to score.
Right.
But some possessions are bigger than others. Joe McKinney will kick off for Niceville. It comes to Waylon Cotton. And Waylon will get about to the 42-yard line, and I know the coaches over there were having a heart attack. Waylon's a defensive end.
Right. I'd be removing that young'un real quick, like, because I think I'd be very surprised to see Niceville kick it deep. So the guys in that second line of defense there, I'd like to have some guys up there that could catch and run with the football.
First and 10, Fort Walton.
Wrap it up.
or get a knee. First and 10, Fort Walton. Drew, give to Porter. Porter will get maybe one. Tackle in there by number 51, Cody Martin. And also number 58 down there in the middle of the pile, Kevin Chavis. Or is that Chavis?
It don't matter.
Come on, help me out here. We got Demetrio Bob. He makes my all-name team.
He's in there, isn't he?
Drew Roberts. Complete to number 89 for Fort Walton. A good throw and catch. Sterling Riggs. Tackle by David Gibson.
Now that was a fine throw and catch, a good timing route. They come out here in twins and they run them off with the one guy and cross underneath with the other guy.
Well, Fort Walton has shown they can throw tonight now.
Oh, they can throw now. I'm impressed.
A little draw to Porter, but he slips down. But boy, I tell you what, number 79, Mike Ledford. Did anybody block him, or he said hello when they went by?
Mike got in that A-gap real quick, like he reads that football, and he comes off of there and throws that technique at him.
Loss of 4, second and 14, approximately 14 for Fort Walton. Wide out to the right is Mark Kubion. Sterling Riggs to the left. Almost intercepted by Kenny Escobar. Intended for number 35, John Townsend. And now Fort Walton has a lot of people going both ways.
Well, I thought I was fixing to have to, or I thought I was going to be commenting on how cool Drew looked that time, but I think Coach Rankin would tell Drew that was an ill-advised throw because Escobar had great coverage. He threw into color.
Well, he threw it a little behind him, but Escobar, you're right, he had great coverage.
Now this is what I thought he could do.
And he will get, well, according to where they spot it. Where did he run out of bounds at? Now, that is when Drew is really effective. Boy, he's a tough runner. Well, he'll be short about 3 yards and a big fourth down play for Fort Walton.
See, I thought he was going to run it on second down. I thought he was just about to step up in the pocket, throw, no, then take off.
He had over 200 yards against Choctaw, and if I could say the difference in the football game, Drew Roberts beat Choctaw himself running the football. Big play here, and the Niceville fans are up on their feet. So are the Fort Walton fans. And the referees break the momentum here.
Oh, Lord. What are we, is not supposed to yell in high school football?
This is a big down here. They're all big, but this is bigger than most. They put the foot down. Drew Roberts, he may be short. It's according to where the referee on this side puts his feet, and he may be short. I don't think he got it, David.
Well, he's right at it. I didn't think he did either. But I'm very bad at this sort of thing, so I thought he had given it to the first man through.
Well, you know, these old eyes are ours. I think he's a little bit short, but I don't know. About a foot. And Niceville turns back for Walton beats. Niceville will get the football back, and since their average drive tonight, it's only been about 2 minutes. They have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Calakini's at quarterback. Wilbon's back in the game. Did they tape up his hand? Pitch is back to Wilbon. Tackle made by number 7, DeVaris Walker, and I think we're going to have a hold here on Niceville. And that's their third 15-yard penalty.
And the man working the sideline with Niceville is the one that threw the flag, so he better be right.
Because he's got 4 assistant referees right behind him.
Eat him up when they're waiting on him right now. Who is he?
He told Coach Sorrells that he grabbed his jersey, so you're right, it takes a lot of guts to throw a flag on this side. There's the hold. We'll bring the ball back, 1st and 25 for Niceville. And the Viking defense once again called on to toughen up. Double slot on the right side. Godfrey's in the slot. Give us to Wilbon up the middle. And boy, he's always going to close to breaking it. Tackle made by number 82, Joe Ferreira.
His acceleration is just tremendous, isn't it?
He looks good on a 3-yard run. I mean,
Right.
he just picked up 3 yards, and it looked great.
He's fun to watch.
Yes. Second and 12. They like to throw play action out of this formation.
Oh, me, Brandon.
And Niceville Brandon Robinson jumped offside there. They have 50 yards in penalties so far. That's the only thing that stopped them tonight. You know, the Viking defense tonight, they haven't looked like they really have everybody getting around the football. You know, they haven't really, they don't look real aggressive to me. I don't know. Right now. I know they're playing hard as they can, but the give is to Godfrey. And Fort Walton will get the football back. There's a big pileup down there. Godfrey dropped it. And I think Niceville got the ball back, believe it or not. They did. And number 61, Michael Curdy, looks like he got in there and got the football. Heads up play by the lineman.
Yeah, it looked a lot like Fort Walton Beach football there for a while. Well, that's certainly something you'd like to see if you're Fort Walton Beach, is for Niceville to become sloppy with the football and start landing on the ground.
You know, I've been watching Niceville for years, David. I promise you, I hardly ever see them fumble. And they've had 2 tonight. Godfrey, the ball is given to Wilbon. He wiggles forward and will get close. Look at him stretching out there. He'll get about 5. Tackled by Joe Donatelli. And are they really going to punt?
Good job by the defense at Fort Walton Beach that time. Of course, they had a little help with a penalty, but that's what happens, you know, when you get penalties.
Well, Wilbon only got about 6 or 7 yards on 2 carries, so that's the good news.
But they were, like you mentioned, they were getting around the football with a little enthusiasm right there. They were really playing hard right there. You could see a noticeable difference.
Good kick by Joey Calakini. Fabian Porter will fair catch it on his own 20-yard line. And with 5:25 to go, Fort Walton will get another shot at scoring before the half ends. That was a good punt by Joey.
Joey's done a good job of punting all year long.
You know, David, I know that so far what Niceville's wanted to do has worked. Drew Roberts has not been a factor except when throwing the football, but they have not let him run the football. and consequently, Fort Walton's offense has not moved as well. Give us to Porter. Porter will get outside and get about 3 yards, tackled by David Gibson. And Gibson did a great job there getting off the block to make that tackle.
He did, and he sunk his cleats in the ground pretty good there and delivered a pretty good lick.
Fabian Porter is the tailback. He's rushed for 573 yards for Fort Walton. Drew Roberts, 665. So Fabian and Drew are the biggest threat that Fort Walton has on offense. Fabian, of course, was a defensive back, and he plays both ways. Give us to James Fallon, and there comes a long-distance flag. All the way to the back, Joe.
Pretty good arm on that.
Yeah, look at that. A face mask on Niceville. Well, they dial long distance. That's the 4th 15-yard penalty on Niceville. And the Niceville fans are letting the official know what they felt about it.
Well, I know what Frank's saying to him. You back there 20 yards from the football. We got about five
out there.
Right in within 5 yards.
Drew Roberts. A little low, intended for number 89, Ryan Sterling Riggs. Little slant in there.
Has Riggs started all year long?
No, just in the Pensacola High game, he started playing some wide out, and he showed good quickness, good hands. Pitch out to Fabian. Fabian will bounce to the outside, and he punishes number 6.
Greg Ritchie.
Greg Ritchie, but hey, Greg, you stayed right in there.
Yeah, good job by Greg. He fielded that time, and Niceville forced the pitchback to cut it up. A quick feel that time. They played it pretty good.
Porter weighs 180 and Ritchie 159. Is he that heavy?
He doesn't look it, does he?
No, he doesn't. Big third down for Fort Walton. Drew Roberts will take a timeout. The clock was about to run out on him. And Fort Walton will go talk it over. Now that was a good tackle, but it says that Greg Rickey is a 159-pound senior.
Like
and I wonder about that. And it says that Kenny Escobar is a 176-pound sophomore. Well, you know, we were talking earlier. Gibson has 3 interceptions. Escobar has 2. Rickey has 2. Chris Johnson has 3. 10 interceptions this year. That's pretty impressive.
A lot of ability back there. Those kids are good football players. They've got good skills. And
you know,
Coach Norrell does a good job with those defensive backs, Jimmy Norrell.
And you know, when you talk about Niceville, you talk about stability. I mean, a real professional coaching staff, been together a long time, and they have a system. The boys fit in it.
Well, that's the key word, stability. From the head man right on down. Frank's been here 20 years. Nobody else has been a head coach for 20 years in Okaloosa County.
Drew Roberts, third down.
Look at here.
And Drew Roberts will score. And Sterling Riggs had a heck of a block on the outside. I don't know who he was blocking, but he was downfield for a pass. He turned around and saw Drew Roberts running down the side and turned around and started blocking, and Drew Roberts run right by everybody. What a play.
Yeah, it was Chris Johnson was out there, and Chris is a pretty good country corner, and he came up and met the guy and had separation and was going to play off, but Roberts just blew by him.
And then we talked about what kind of weapon Drew is. Bobby Robinson, and it's good. And with 3:33 to go, David, It hasn't appeared that way, but we got a close football game.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, even you said it earlier. What Fort Walton Beach doesn't want Niceville to do is to big play them. Well, they've got 20 points up there. They've missed an extra point, but they got 3 touchdowns. But they've all been marches or drives. So to Fort Walton Beach's credit, you've at least made them stay out there and drive the football, and they haven't gone 80 yards yet.
Well, there hadn't been any 80-yard runs yet.
On the other hand, Fort Walton Beach has had some big plays.
Yeah, the pass play earlier in the first quarter led to a score to Ryan Thompson.
The kickoff return earlier, and that play right there.
Drew Roberts. And there you saw what a weapon he is if they can get him loose on the corners. He's a tremendous runner. Now, he looked like he ran a 4.2 with that one.
Drew was flying.
Yeah. But you got to hand it, you know, and I know that a lot of things unseen in a football game. Sterling Riggs turned around and threw the block that sprung him.
Right, that was a heads-up play because he had turned around, and when he saw that he had indeed pulled it down to run with it, he turned and attacked.
Bobby Robinson will have to kick into the unholy trio back here. Wilburn, Johnson, and Godfrey.
He kicked it to him, but he had to win.
Well, that comes down to Chris Johnson, but you cannot run the football out of the end zone. And if you're a coach for Fort Walton, you're just breathing a sigh of relief. That's where you want the football. And there is a wind, like you say, from the north tonight. Kalakini will check into the huddle. 3:33 to go in the second quarter. Niceville with the ball in their own 20-yard line. And now the Fort Walton defense. The offense has picked them up tonight. They need to make a big play right here. Little cross buck to Alex. Alex will get to the outside. And boy, he'll fight forward, get about 8. Initial hit made by Troy McLean, but that's another thing that the Viking coaches were afraid of. When they got to where they can make the tackle, they have got to make the tackle because these backs are so good. If you miss, they're going to hurt you.
Good, hard, determined run by Godfrey that time.
No doubt about it.
They had to play snuff.
Just good running by Alex Godfrey. In motion is Godfrey. Little give to, no, it's a fake. Kalakini keeps the football. Number 5, Anthony McKinney makes the tackle. We got another flag out here, and it's going to be against Niceville.
Well, if it's against Niceville, this old boy is all world.
He's got a lot of guts, too.
Look at him. Oh, man. Now, I hope he's not trying to bait the big man up here.
There's Frank, and he's upset. I don't know what's the penalty.
Holding.
I guess it's holding. Once again, holding. Boy, Frank's upset. You know, I know some
much of this.
I know some officials that really get intimidated over there. And I guess you could say, well, maybe this one's not one of them, but gee whiz, throw a flag, and it came in so late once again. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 24-yard line. Alex Godfrey is in the left flank position. He's in motion to give us the Wilburn up the middle. Good stop there. Joe Donatelli and Troy McLean on the stop, and another flag. Did you see it, David?
We may get a face mask on Fort Walton Beach now.
Holding. Now that's a very curious call on defense. You know that?
From that angle.
From that? No, really.
Perspective, yeah. Unless they're just holding up the tight end, you know, they all hold up the tight end.
Yeah, you can shug him. I guess you can't undress him. But this back judge here, it's almost like the other officials hadn't seen anything. I guess he's got the wide perspective. But this one's going to go against Niceville, against Fort Walton. He'll give Niceville a first down. Holding. And now Coach Rankin wants to talk. But he's on the other side of the field, so he doesn't get any, and he doesn't get the vent.
Oh, Joey's over there saying, "Now don't give us the old makeup. Y'all cease to call it." Fine.
Well, every referee would tell you there's no such thing as a makeup, but you know there is, right?
Oh, yeah.
1st and 10. Brandon Robinson shifts to the right side. Calakini. Intended for Chris Johnson, and if he'd have let a little air under it, he had about a step on Fabian Porter out there, or is that McKinney? Oh, I'm sorry. Number 7, Javaris Walker.
Joey took a hit. He's a little slow to get up. He's still shaking his wits about him downstairs.
You see who made the hit?
No, I didn't.
I was watching the pass there, but Chris Johnson, nothing fancy. It's a little deep post.
He's a little stove up.
2nd and 10 for Niceville. Now you look at Fort Walton, they have 9 people in that box right now. Give us to Alex Godfrey. Tackled by John Townsend.
Well, that's what you got to do, Wendell. Niceville's got 8 people in the box.
Right.
They've got tight end and wings and slots and 1 running back, and I mean that's how many they got. You better counteract it, be counterproductive in that respect. You line somebody up in there, and if I had to defend Niceville, I would at least try not to let them beat me in between the tackles.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They really are.
Well, that's what I would try to do. I would say you're not going to run, and I'm not talking about just the fullback dive. I'm talking about the G scheme where they trap the end and do things like that. I'd make them go around the perimeter. Now it's not easy.
Calakini. Intended for Chris Johnson, but I think it's going to be incomplete. And Coach Mayer for Fort Walton is upset big time. But I think it was incomplete. What do you think?
Incomplete.
I think it was incomplete.
It's close.
It was close, but Chris Johnson just did a little slant underneath there and hit him in a bad place.
Well, Fort Walton Beach has got 1 minute and 14 seconds.
I think they're going to go after Calakini here. They got 10 people up here. Fabian Porter's back, the lone setback.
He needs to pull this one down if he can and run with it, but he won't get an opportunity.
Ball will go out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Fort Walton will have the ball with 1:06 to go in the half. And the Viking fans are on their feet now.
Well, they've bounced back. They've done a great job of bouncing back. Of course, Fort Walton Beach is used to those kids are used to bouncing back. I think they started the season out 0-2, and then they reeled off about 5 straight victories and didn't lose again until last Friday night. So there's no quitting those kids.
Joey said it's the most. He loves these guys. Drew will attempt the quarterback draw, but Niceville, I guess in the middle there, is number 51. Was that number 51? Cody Martin?
Yeah, Cody Martin.
Did a good job.
Just wanting the officials to set the ball. The clock continued to run.
Drew. He'll be slammed down on about no gain. Tackle made by Pat Riggett. Fort Walton has another timeout now.
I think. I don't know.
Now, Fort Walton has 2 timeouts left. And they let about 15 seconds roll off the clock before they call timeout. I think Niceville's not going to let Drew pull that ball down and run the football. What do you think?
I'd cover him just like I would the wide receivers.
You know, I was talking earlier in the year to Coach Rankin, and you're right. He says that these boys last year, all during spring, they knew what they had to do to get better. And he said they're really a bunch of hard-working kids, and they do not quit. And he said it's the best, you know, it's been a lot of fun coaching them. Mm-hmm. You know, let's face it, they don't have the athletes that a lot of schools have, but this bunch has really worked hard to get better, and they have gotten better this year. And like you say, until they lost to Mosley, they were running, well, they had a 4-game win streak. And I'll tell you one thing that seems to have hurt Fort Walton more than it hurt Niceville. to me, was the Hurricane. That 10-day stretch.
Well, that's when Niceville lost their game.
Fabian Porter. And he will get a first down. Little delay underneath the Fabian. Tackle made in there by number 7, Kenny Escobar. And I think Drew needs to just spike it.
He's got 18 seconds.
It'd
I
be
think
nice.
they were figuring if they could get it out to near midfield to where if disaster struck, Niceville wouldn't have enough time to score.
Niceville, of course, has number 7, Escobar, number 6, Greg Rickey back 20 yards. I think I'd spike this. What do you think? Nope, they're just going to go play. Damon Degenerate slips down. He's not on your program. Little sophomore, played tailback in the first game of the year.
I don't know if you've noticed yet or not, Wendell, but they've got Godfrey and Wilbon out there on the defense now. They like to line Freddie up at defensive end and just let him come up the field, and Godfrey's in there for pass coverage, and they drop all 4 defensive back. Of course, now they're all back down in the prevent.
We got Chris Johnson, Ricky Escobar, and number 20, David Gibson, back about 20 yards. Well, you know, Fort Walton will take time out. Drew tries a little counter on the right side there. I think it's time just to heave it. What do you think?
Oh, here it comes.
Or if you have a trick play. I haven't seen Fort Walton run any trick plays, hook and ladder or reverses this year. They do have a reverse, but I haven't seen it run it but once or twice.
We were talking about the Viking season earlier on. Of course, that first loss, that was almost like a fluke when they lost to Washington. That was such a heartbreaking defeat where they had lost it in the kicking game there at the end.
They still say that the roughing the kicker, I think it was Troy McLean, got part of the football, but they ruled, of course, roughing the kicker and gave Washington another chance, and they kicked it to win the football game. He's got somebody open, but... And that will be the last play of the second quarter. We'll be right back for the second half of this great, exciting District 1 6A football game right after this message.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears and Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home. Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears and Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
Uh-oh, Vince. They're really cracking down on safety belts these days.
What's up, officer?
I'm giving you a ticket for committing an 811.
Safety belt violation.
Compliments of Barney Fife.
We never wear safety belts. We're dummies.
Weisenheimers.
He gave us a ticket.
Man's got to do what he's got to do.
shall be greatly missed. That is a 50-yard line. And now, big football. And Eagles.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears in Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
And we're back. Second half action now. Tonight's Cox Communications high school game of the week. The Niceville Eagles leading the Fort Walton Beach Vikings 20-14, and Fort Walton will have the ball first this half, winning the toss at the beginning of the football game, and of course deferring. Niceville will kick off, and David, it might be one of those games the last people who have the football will win. I don't know.
It could very well be. It's been a lot of offense, but there's been some defense too. I know, speaking from the Niceville perspective, they got big play, bang bang on the first possession. Then the defense kind of stuffed them a little bit until the big play on Drew Roberts' scramble. So they're not that discouraged at their performance, although they were unhappy with the containment of Roberts.
McKinney will kick the football. Number 5 for Fort Walton has it. That'll be Anthony McKinney. And boy, he's drilled, it looks like, by number 7. Kenny Escobar, did he make the hit?
Him and Olery.
Right, him and Clint Olery. But Fort Walton will have pretty fair field position at the 35-yard line. And the first half, of course, like you say, Niceville methodical in driving. Fort Walton, the big play. First and 10, Drew Roberts to give to James Fallon.
Boy, he's good.
Fallon may score. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Touchdown, the Vikings.
And no flag.
That's a story. No flags.
Well, I was just about to comment on what I felt like as far as Fort Walton Beach on offense. I hadn't seen as much veer as I thought I was going to see coming in.
That's a veer. That's a veer move.
Right. So it was almost like they were doing several different things, but never really getting into sync with one certain area of attack. And boy, they could flat run that veer.
Well, that was a veer, and you said earlier that Niceville had a little problem with that, and so just like that, Fort Walton.
And they lead.
They lead 11-20-43, and they're ahead 21-20. And what a shocking turn of events, as they may say.
These people hadn't even gotten back in their seats good.
Neither had you. Woo! Just walked in. David, I cannot let the telecast go all the way to the end tonight without you bragging about the Tennessee Volunteers being number 1. I know that everybody knows what a Tennessee fan you are. Have you seen them play this year?
Absolutely. I got to see them play the Florida game, and then I went to Auburn to see that game. They've been playing very well. I'm not bragging just yet.
Yeah. Well, they got to play Arkansas tomorrow, and I reckon you're going to be playing baseball or going to be watching the football.
Well, I'll be here watching the football. Baseball's over for the fall anyway.
Oh, okay. The fall league's over. Okay.
By Halloween. It's been an exciting season for them so far. I just hope they keep going. If they get to Tempe, I'm going to have to be there.
Well, there's so many Florida, Auburn, Alabama, Florida State fans around here. You know, you stick out like a sore thumb sometimes.
I know it. And they've all been real nice about it.
I know you've had to hide the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Talking about the hurdle. Our hurdle has always been reptile in nature.
Yeah. Bobby Robinson will tee it up. There's a slight wind in his back. Of course, back deep, Robinson, Wilbon, and Godfrey, but he'll kick it in the end zone, which is exactly what Fort Walton wants to do. And now Niceville's very efficient offense will come back out here. We have Kellikini, of course, and Wilbon, Godfrey, and Chris Johnson, and they have really put on a show tonight, as well as Drew Roberts.
Well, I'm interested to see what kind of changes or adjustments the defense of Fort Walton Beach has done during halftime.
Well, they're running the same defense. There you have McLean, Townsend at linebacker. Kellikini keeps the ball. Nice cutback. Troy McLean on the tackle. Good run by Joey.
Great fake. They had to play covered. They had to dive, and they had the man there for the quarterback, and Joey just faked the pitch and tucked it up underneath the defensive end. And well, I say end, I don't know if they ran a stunt. It could have been a linebacker, but whoever it was got faked out a little bit.
The down people, Donatelli, T.J. Brett, Ferreira, and Waylon Cotton. Linebackers Townsend, McKinney, McLean, and J.R. Grant. Boy, good, tough running inside there, but good tackling in there by the Vikings. Ferreira was there, J.R. Grant was there, McLean was there. Well, a little intensity by Fort Walton.
Yeah, good pursuit. They're being aggressive at the point of attack.
Third of the yard, and you know what? I look across the way, and the Fort Walton crowd, which usually is not very animated, up on their feet cheering.
They've been up since that run. They are very much into it.
Third and short, Kellikini with the count. Give this to Wilbon, and he'll be thrown for a loss. No, that's Alex Godfrey. And boy, Ferreira, T.J. Brent, Troy McLean, all there. T.J. Brent. And the first time tonight that they've held on a situation like that.
McLean was in the backfield. He really got up the field quick. And a good wrapped up tackle by McLean.
So Joey Kellikini will attempt his third. He drops back for his third punt tonight. Back deep is Fabian Porter. The Vikings have 11 people on the line. 10. Have to have 10. Good punt by Joey. Fabian Porter has the football. And boy, somebody ripped him. That'll be Alex Godfrey, lost his helmet. But good running, but a good tackle there by Alex Godfrey. Fort Walton will have the ball on their own 41-yard line. Boy, that's tough, isn't it? That's love to see that.
Well, Fort Walton Beach has really come out this second half and taken over the football game.
Drew Roberts at quarterback, Fallon's the fullback, Fabian Porter to give us to Fallon. Fallon will get 5 yards. And tackle made there by number 7, Kenny Escobar. Looks like Demetrio Bob was there also, but there, Fallon has, that's 7 yards.
Well, like I said, they're really bringing the fight out to Niceville. The fans are in it, the kids are in it, the coaches are in it over there. They're jumping up and down. And they may have gone into the locker room at halftime, and Joey may have said, look, guys, our backs are to the wall. We know this is it for us, and we're just going to go out and do what we do best, and that's run the football out of the veer, and let's just see what happens.
Well, again, they want to keep the ball away from Niceville's offense. Of course, you always want to do that, but... You know, you drive the ball, take time off the clock. Drew Roberts, give us to Fabian Porter. And Fabian will get absolutely nowhere. And boy, underneath the pile there is number 51, Cody Martin. And we've called his name a couple of times tonight.
Cody's playing good tonight.
Well, they gained about a yard, so big third down play again. John Townsend checks in for Fort Walton. Troy McLean. Fort Walton got a lot of people, have a lot of people going both ways tonight.
Well, last game, you got to put your best players on the field.
3rd and 3. Drew will be short about a yard. Good pursuit by the Niceville defense. Cody Martin's there. Phil Tease is there. Number 72. Who is that? 79, excuse me. Mike Ledford. Good pursuit by Fort Walton. You know, if I'm Fort Walton, well, they're going to punt.
I thought they may go for it.
Well,
I think they wouldn't be going for it if they did not have the lead right now, though. I think Joey's doing the wise thing here. Of course, he ain't punted it yet.
it ain't us. We don't have to make the decision. Good stop by the Niceville defense, though. Bobby Robinson, and they're going to try to draw him off. Low snap, but he feels it nicely.
Shank it.
And we're going to have about a 5-yard punt. That punt was 5 yards. Now, Bobby had been punting well all night, and they needed to hit one.
Give them the long field.
And that happens. That happens sometime. And the Viking defense will be called on once again to stop the Niceville fired up offense. Wide slots to the right. Jeremy Jackson in the slot is Chris Johnson. In motion is Chris Johnson. Flip back to Wilburn. Troy McLean will be out there, and he'll drag Troy with him. But I think he was out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. Boy, Wilburn looks quicker than that, 210 pounds.
He's got it all, man. He's got it all.
Well, you know, that's sort of a change of pace there, that quick sweep, power sweep. They get Wilburn on the corner. If Wilburn ever gets his shoulders downfield, it's when he's really tough. Of course, Fort Walton wants to keep him going east and west.
Fort Walton Beach is doing a good job of pursuing the football.
Everybody's around the football. They are. 2nd and 7. In motion is Johnson once again.
What a play!
What a catch by Chris Johnson. A tremendous catch by Chris Johnson. Excellent coverage there by Thaddeus Rose. The ball went through him, tipped up, and Chris Johnson made the catch.
I thought Joey had just thrown his first interception. But as you say, the ball was tipped up and remained alive while just kind of suspended in midair, and Chris Johnson snatched it and hung on to it for a huge play for Niceville.
You know, when you get right down to it, now you can't blame the defense for that. You had your people where they belong. Chris Johnson just made the play, and Thaddeus Rose didn't, and that just happens in football. It's the I formation now. The toss sweep back to Freddie. He drops the ball.
He's got it.
T.J. Brent is there. And I didn't see what was going on there. J.R. Grant and somebody was hooked up.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I saw J.R. Grant now. J.R. Grant is 5'6", number 24. And whoever he was locked up with has to be bigger than him.
No doubt.
Loss of 3, and that's a very uncharacteristic of Niceville. That's our fourth fumble tonight. They've lost 2. It was a Godfrey reverse back to this side. Chris Johnson will pick up the first down inside the 5-yard line and missed tackle tonight. Fort Walton knew that they had to tackle well tonight. Missed tackle, but Chris Johnson had a lot to do with that.
Well, a good play call by the coaching staff as well. I didn't want to sit up here and sound like a genius or anything, but because I knew I was waiting to watch for that reverse because I knew at the halftime they said they were
You should have called it.
knew they were going to try some misdirection and an occasional reverse because of the pursuit of Walton Beach.
Now, Wilburn's at fullback. Godfrey's the tailback. This is like a sweep. No, Kelakini. Touchdown, Niceville. You know, Joey Kelakini is one of the best. He's the best I've seen this year at faking the football.
Well, Niceville's going to go for two. They're trying to get them over. They're trying to get them to stay on the field.
5:38. The Eagles 26, the Vikings 21, and of course, Niceville has to go for two. So they will keep their offense on the field.
Of course, they'll stay with the old jumbo set or heavy set.
Wilburn's at fullback. The lead, no. Play action complete to Brandon Robinson. And Kalakini took a heck of a shot from, I don't know what the Viking was there to hit him.
I think that I don't see a 34 up there. It must have been a 35.
I think it was Brandon Eric Smith, number 44 for Fort Walton. But great play call right there. Great call. Great call. You know, that misdirection, I mean, Niceville's misdirection plays tonight with the faking of Joey Kelakini has been the difference right now in this football game. Been a lot of differences, but that's one of the big differences.
Yeah, Joey's played well so far. He's played well.
Of course, it always helps to have somebody that Wilburn to fake to, because he draws a lot of attention.
Well, that was a key thing there is that Niceville kept their heavy set on the field and faked the run. Something that they do 99 out of 100 times when they get in that set is run the football. They fake it and they run the old basic pattern to the tight end. He blocks down 1,001, 1,002, and then boom, shoots out of there, and he's usually wide open.
The ball will go out of bounds. Well, I know, we have two flags.
Oh, just got to throw it, man.
Yeah, but that guy has already used up his quota tonight. Both of those guys, almost every flag's been thrown by those two officials. I can't believe that you said they have makeup calls, though. That's astounding. You will never catch a referee admitting that. Of course, when the ball goes out of bounds, you get the ball on the 35-yard line.
The other famous quote from the officials is they don't do it for the money.
Yeah, they just love the game. Yeah, give me another cold one.
All right, we'll go. Just call it for nothing.
Snake to Fabian Porter. Slant pattern intended for Ryan Thompson, but Phil Tiza was in the way. Boy, you always